decided to pick up the 4-Hour Work Week. This book basically is recommended by almost everyone on YouTube. So I kind of wanted to just discuss some things that Tim Ferriss mentions in the book, and kind of just my thoughts about the book in general. I read this in about 2 days. I don't recommend reading a book like this in 2 days. However, it's just something I like to read books really quickly, unless if it's like a textbook or something. But this book was just something I kind of wanted to bang out and see how good it was, and if I thought it was, very good, and I'd go back, take notes and stuff. A lot of stuff in this book I didn't find relevant to my life right now, obviously. So this book is kind of divided in a few parts. They got defining what is your purpose and your meaning in life, and then how you're dealing with your job and potential entrepreneurship in your life. The next step is the next part of the book is productivity, how to be more productive and eliminate stupid stuff. And then I guess the last part is putting it together and being able to work, but have the time to almost retire now and do the things you want in your life while you're still young. These are all very important concepts, especially if someone doesn't know the answer to most of these questions. However, I feel like because so many people discuss this book on the internet, and it's such a topic that's talked about, I felt like everything in the book was already known to me almost. Not because I'm some mighty wizard, but just because, again, there's so much information about this topic on the internet that people preach that it kind of felt repetitive. Now I know this book was written 15 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. So I no way am I saying Tim copied people online. I'm just saying it's a very talked about concept. This book, I feel like this book was written for, I guess, 2 people. Age group, maybe 15 years old to 20, where they're just trying to figure out what they want to do, and maybe they don't know what they want to do. How do they be more productive in their life? How do they find a reason to do things at the same time, make money? I think that's one age group. The next age group is about maybe 30 to 45, somewhere around there, where maybe even 50, where they don't know what they want to do, and they're doing something that they want to retire, but they can't. They feel trapped, they feel stuck, and they want an outlet to, still make money, but go enjoy the things they want. That's another age group. Me, I'm 23 right now. I have a very good idea what I want to do. I'm in the process of doing it. However, it's just executing it, the hard part, and the productivity part of this book really, impacted me, I guess, the most, because it's important. However, we gotta make sure, we're using our time efficiently to achieve our goals and just stuff like that. But yeah, overall, I thought this book was a good read. I feel like if I didn't learn anything too new, if that makes sense. But I think if you're just getting into this productivity world, or you're getting into if you've never heard of this book before, if you don't know what YouTube is, just read this book and it'll sum up 20% of all YouTube videos. One of the things I really disliked about this book is, he obviously discusses how to make money and then go on vacations and stuff, and relax and kind of retire in your 20s and 30s, but you're still working. He made it make sense. However, about 10, this many pages in the book, let's just say, was about how to do it, how to make money, how to build a business or find something, or, and then have that monthly income and then go do what you want to do. And I feel like that was just kind of building people up for false promises, he obviously discusses things in the book you can do, if you're at a very good job and you're making money, find a way to work with your boss to work remotely. And now I feel like this is going to be a more common thing in the very near future, working remotely, because of obviously what's been happening around the world, but also because technology is advancing so fast, and we should be working remotely. I don't want to have to drive an hour work online. Tim also discusses ways, you gotta email people, don't have meetings. Meetings are just pointless. They waste time. But getting back to, I guess, what I was saying, I'm sorry I get sidetracked very easily because there's so much that I want to talk about. Yeah, basically what he does is he has his, businesses that he operates online and he makes a good amount of money. However, the way he kind of came across in the book, it was just Amazon FBA, create some website, sell some product, and then just manage that. Or, work remotely and try to get that worked out with your boss. He explained the working remotely pretty well. I feel like that's an option for people. However, it's a lot easier said than done to negotiate that, but he discusses how to negotiate it, which is good. I like that. Then he gets on to Amazon FBA, creating a website, finding a product, getting into a niche, and then just selling products. And it just came across really too quick. I felt like there should have been some more stuff about it, but I don't know, resell a product, create a product, license a product, I don't know. And then what I'm basically getting at is about this much, a very small fraction of the book was how to build this business or cash flow. And then this rest of the book, half the book was okay, here's what you're gonna do now. Now that you have this cash flow, you're gonna go on this vacation, you're gonna go to places, you're gonna do things you want with the time that you have created. And that's fun and games and all, and I get that's kind of what the book's about. It's about how do you retire now, how do you live the life you want in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, and not wait till you're 60. So how do you go about actually making that happen? Get some cash flow and then just, do it. How to pack your bags, he mentions, how to save on airfare and stuff. And I don't know if you guys are kind of picking up what I'm saying. Maybe I should just describe it one more time. The first half of the book, the first 25% of the book is basically how to deal with your current problems, how to make yourself more productive. Then he gets into building the business and getting that cash flow, maybe 10% of the book. Then the rest of the 50% of the book just felt okay, here's how you're gonna have fun enjoying your life. And I guess I kind of wanted more of the productivity side and developing and managing the business. It just felt very concise and too short. Then the later chapters just felt so verbose and like he was selling a dream. That's just what it felt like. I know Tim is obviously not just selling the dream because he's done it himself and he's helped other people. I'm just saying in the book that's kind of how it came across. But yeah, the first half of this book was very insightful. He also has his own website. I think it's called the 4-hour day or something. He says his own website in the book a lot, so I highly recommend, you can probably check that out, get a lot of free information. This book I think was $25. Yeah, it's a lot of good information for that amount of money. However, I think a lot of it's just information that's repeated online to oblivion. 80-20 rule, be productive, find good friends, build a business or a product that you can sell or work remotely, and then how to automate it. One of the things too. So he has an acronym deal. Describe what you want. Eliminate, excess stuff that waste your time and friends, negative ones, or just things that are wasting your time, maybe driving to work. A is automation, and then the L is liberation. And one of the things he discusses is he kind of goes in order, but then we get to automation, and maybe 100 pages in the book, he started to talk about how to automate your business and how to automate this thing that didn't exist yet. And I'm he was discussing something that I felt like the audience didn't have yet or wasn't going to have for a while. And he goes on and on about it too. It's a very long chapter about how to, hire other people, how to to, get a virtual assistant, there's a lot about virtual assistants, and I know it's important if you want to, be able to go on vacations all the time and basically work only a few hours a week. So you basically outsource work. But I feel like that's a step down the road, and maybe that's what he was hinting at the book. Like, it shouldn't be a step down the road. You should do it immediately, because you don't want to get stuck doing dumb work and stuff. But I feel like it's not impossible, but it's not practical for the average person, because most people don't know exactly how they're going to get there, or they don't know if their thing's going to be successful. He does discuss that too, about making sure your product and stuff is in demand, and it actually is going to sell, and you're going to make money. But again, it's hard to explain. I feel like this is it's definitely possible. People can do it. It's just, obviously it's hard. It shouldn't be easy. But I feel like I don't want people to read this book and think, okay, I read this book, I studied it, now I'm gonna do it, execute it, because the real world's a little bit more challenging. But again, if you want anything in life, you gotta work for it. So I definitely agree that it shouldn't be easy. And I think you need to read, if you actually want to, achieve this, you should probably read this book, a couple pages every night. Like, take notes, really understand what Tim is trying to say and how to do it. But, you really gotta have a good idea. You gotta find a way to automate it. And that's the good thing about, 2020. We have so much more remote work, potential. We have so many websites you can just brew up in a few minutes. You can sell products in probably 20 minutes, not 20 minutes. In one day, you can have an entire website, sell products, find a way to advertise it. It's a great, time we're living in. You just gotta use it right. So, I definitely think it's possible, even more now. It just might be competitive, and, you gotta be consistent with it, but again, you gotta be productive too. I feel like that's the dream for everyone, just work 4 hours a week, make more money than you were. The world doesn't work if everyone, has this business model, right? There's always gonna be those people that are gonna have to work crummy ass jobs and get paid less, because it makes this life sustainable, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like my point of view is more practical, or it makes sense at least. I'm not saying that this is definitely possible. I'm just saying everyone in the world can't have this, because it just doesn't work, Overall, I would say this was a good book to read, but you have to be in the target audience. For me, I didn't find, this stuff was obviously useful to me, but some of it I didn't find relevant. And again, if you're not 15 to 20, or you really just don't know what you want to do in life, but you want to escape, I think this offers a good step-by-step on how to get started in escaping a life you don't want to live that has to deal with work. But again, just because you read a book doesn't mean that your problems will be solved. You have to put those problems in actions, or you have to put those problems and thoughts into actions. And that's probably the hardest part. But everyone's different. Everyone's in a different stage in their life, kind of doing different things. So everyone's gonna get something different out of this book, or just in general books in general. I did enjoy this book. I did enjoy the read. But a lot of the information in this book has already been preached online. Amazon FBA, work from home. Make sure the information you're getting is legitimate, and it's not just selling you a dream. This book by Tim is selling you a dream, but he's putting it step by step, how to achieve your dreams, and putting people in different scenarios about how to do it. In this updated version, he has a bunch of emails and stuff in the back of the book about people kind of discussing how they went about, changing their life into something they wanted. And that's the thing that I feel like listening to other people, take information and make it practical. just gotta make it work. And good book, good read. I don't really think this is the best book I ever read. It's not in the top 10 or 20, about, finance or so. This is more of a self-help book, is that it? Definitely not a financial book. Like self-help, productivity book is what I would deem this to be. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to me talk about this book. And I'll see you guys